Hey y'all. So before we get started, let's say hello to my buddy Neo. Hey Neo. But here's is my review for Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. This is gonna be spoiler free. I'm not gonna ruin it for you guys. And I just wanted to share, like my quick thoughts on it. And I saw it tonight as I'm recording this video. And let me tell you, like this movie is like the WrestleMania of the Monsterverse. I mean, like you feel like, like Godzilla versus Kong was like a pay-per-view event, but this was like on a whole nother level of bonkers. Like this is like WrestleMania bonkers. And like it's set. The premise is basically like where there's a new threat, and then Kong, he's struggling, and then he needs Godzilla's help with this threat, and and then that's when we get this holy freaking mind blowing third act. Like, like I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm like literally torn between a few of these movies in the MonsterVerse with the third acts where they're just like jam action packed. Like I'm still wrapping my brain around it. Like it was a lot of fun. Like like all the fight scenes were fun to watch. Like seeing Godzilla in action is always fun to see. And then same thing for Kong. Kong is no exception. This is like almost as much of his movie than it is Godzilla's, but Godzilla didn't take that much of a backseat as I thought he would. I thought he was gonna take much more of a drastic backseat, or at least I feel like he did. But maybe that's just from that first viewing. But I feel like if I watched it again, that may change my mind. Where I'm like, okay, he has been absent for a little too long. But for right now in this first viewing, it didn't feel that way for me because I was overall enjoying everything else. I have my nitpicks, like where the choices of using certain songs at I feel like at the wrong time. It felt too much like kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy for me. Like especially with one of the characters who he seems like a bit like he has like Star Wars personality, and then you hear this music come on and he's playing music, and I'm just like, I'm not sure this should be in here. That's just me. If you enjoy that, then good for you. I'm happy for you. But I feel like the only characters that really matter is the young girl who can communicate with Kong, and the woman who took her in, like who works for Monarch. Like they're both back from Godzilla versus Kong, and then like a few characters from Godzilla versus Kong are back in this movie. But I feel like the young girl, I forgot her name, but I feel like she pretty much matters the most out of everybody in this lineup in terms of human characters. Like they don't they're not really that engaging like when the Titans are not around, but they are, entertaining to watch. Like at least be entertaining, like where you get me to giggle at times and whatever. But still, this movie was a lot of fun. I went into it thinking that it wasn't gonna be quite as fun as it turned out to be. I don't know, because I'm still on like still in awe over Godzilla minus one, where I'm like, wow, they they nailed it. That's the ingredient of a movie. But when it comes to like fun monster movies, this is definitely, they succeeded in that. And I feel like this is like a more modernized version of the older Godzilla movies, when like when they're kid friendly, and then there's fun stuff in there and there's cute silliness in there. I feel like they took those elements and they modernized it, and then it took it in a more serious route, but it's still like complete bonkers. You know what I mean? like how those older movies are. Like I feel like this is, like the director threw his love for those movies into this. I feel like he really sprinkled a bit of that in this movie, and I feel like it turned out pretty good. Like there's one shot where, like where our two heroes, Godzilla and Kong, and then facing off with this threat that they have to fight, like where like, and it involves where Godzilla and Kong are running together and charging their way in the battle, and then the next shot, I chuckled a little bit, and where I'm like, just like, oh my goodness. I don't know. I mean, that's why it reminds me of those older movies, like from how they position Godzilla and Kong, like when they're in action. And I had fun with it. I definitely had fun with it. So, with that all being said, I'm gonna give this movie maybe a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with this movie. And if you enjoyed the Monsterverse before this, I feel like this is no exception. Um, but correct me if I'm wrong. If you've seen the movie, I don't feel like I feel like I could have skipped over Monarch and just jumped right into this movie because there's nothing really or at least that I felt there where I'm like, oh yeah, good thing I watched Monarch. Otherwise, I wouldn't understand what happened here. I don't know. I didn't feel like there's any of that there. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I could be wrong, but yeah, go check out Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire if you love the MonsterVerse. I feel like you will have a ball with this movie. This is definitely like on some WrestleMania shit. It is fun, so fun to watch. But yeah, if you guys feel free to share your thoughts. If you've seen the movie, did you like it? Did you hate it? Was it too silly for you? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you thumb it up, click subscribe, click that notification bell so you can be updated on my latest videos. So you can stay updated on my latest videos. Thank you for watching as always. And I'll see you guys in my next video. So until then, take care.